Have you ever stood up for just a few seconds, only to come back and find your dog sitting right where you were? It might look funny, like they're stealing your seat, but behind that little moment lies a surprisingly deep and beautiful message. Dogs don't speak with words. They speak with actions we often overlook. The way they follow you from room to room, the gentle way they touch your leg, and especially the way they slide into the seat you just left as if they're holding on to a bit of your warmth. Today, we're going to slow down and decode all of these little behaviors, because once you understand why they take your seat, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Let's start with the first reason. Simple, but more heartfelt than you think. Fever reason 1. I sit in your spot because it makes me feel safe. You may be surprised to learn, when your dog slips into the seat you just left, they're not thinking about taking your place, they're seeking security. That seat still holds your warmth, your familiar scent, the one they trust most in the world. To a dog, your scent is memory, emotion, and family. When they curl up in that exact spot, they're wrapping themselves in your presence, in a quiet, heartfelt way. It's a personal safe zone they want to keep close, even if you're just stepping away for a moment. But if you notice them doing this often, combined with following you closely or watching you with anxious eyes when you move, it could be a sign they need a little extra reassurance from you. Does your dog often sneak into your seat the moment you get up? Reason 2. They sit in your spot to hold on to the scent of the one they love. With dogs, your scent isn't just how you smell, it's a kind of emotional medicine. When you stand up, your warmth and scent linger in the seat. You may not notice it, but for them, that leftover warmth is deeply comforting. It slows their heart rate, calms their nerves. It's like they're getting a hug from you, even when you're not there. This is their way of pulling you closer, literally. But if you see them obsessively sniffing or nestling into anything with your scent, it might be a sign of anxiety or insecurity when alone. Does your dog have a favorite object that smells like you? Something they just won't let go of? Occupant reason 3. They're not claiming your space, they're saying, I belong in your world. To your dog, the seat you usually sit in isn't just furniture, it's part of your world. And dogs long to be included in that world, every little corner of it. In the wild, pack members only share sleeping spaces with those they trust completely. So when your dog scoots into the place you just vacated, they're doing the same thing. They're gently marking themselves as part of your pack, a family they chose. They're not taking over, they're connecting. It's their way of saying, this is your spot, and mine too. We belong together. But if your dog becomes overly territorial, growling at others who approach the seat, that's an early warning sign of possessiveness that should be gently addressed. Has your dog ever guarded your favorite chair? Reason 4. Sometimes they sit in your spot just to ask for your attention. You've probably seen this. You stand up for a moment, and when you return, they're sitting there, tail wagging gently, eyes locked on you as if to say, my turn? Dogs can't say, I need you right now. So instead, they quietly settle into a space where you're guaranteed to see them. It's a very gentle signal. I'd like to be a little closer to you. This is especially common in dogs who crave connection but are polite about it. They won't bark or jump. They'll simply place themselves right where you were, waiting for your eyes to meet theirs. It's a soft, beautiful invitation. But if you notice them doing this often, along with quiet whining or anxious behavior when you leave the room, it might be a sign they're longing for more quality time with you. Does your dog ever sit in your place and look at you like they're trying to speak? Reason 5. When your dog stares at you while pooping, they're showing absolute trust. This one might seem funny. They find a quiet spot, squat, and stare right at you. It's strange, a little awkward, but it's actually one of the most powerful signals of love and trust. In the animal world, going to the bathroom is when they're most vulnerable. They can't run, can't defend themselves, can't scan the environment. So when they look at you during this moment, they're silently saying, I trust you to keep me safe while I'm exposed. That's a level of faith usually reserved for only the closest pack members. But if your dog seems overly nervous, spinning in circles, constantly looking around or getting startled, it may mean they're not feeling safe yet, and you can help by offering a quieter, more familiar space. Has your dog ever given you that wide-eyed, "is everything okay?" stare during their most private moment? Reason 6. When they freeze like a statue, they're processing an invisible world. You've likely seen this on a walk. Everything's fine, and then suddenly, they stop. No movement, no blinking, one paw slightly raised like someone hit the pause button. It looks strange, but it's actually a moment of intense sensory focus. Some scent in the air, faint, distant, has triggered their tracking brain. They're reading data you can't see. Maybe a dog passed by yesterday. Maybe a wild animal is 200 yards away. Maybe there's stress pheromones from another dog nearby. This frozen moment isn't stubbornness, it's instinct, it's observation. It's how they once survived in the wild. But if they freeze frequently with ears down, trembling, or constantly scanning the area, that may be anxiety, not scent focus. Does your dog often pause mid-walk for long stretches? What do you think they're reading when they do? Reason 7. When they chase their tail, they're trying to release trapped energy. You've probably seen it. Your calm dog suddenly spins like a furry tornado, chasing their own tail with wild eyes. It looks silly, but it's their way of saying, "I've got too much energy, and I don't know what to do with it." These spinning bursts help them shake off tension, activate their nerves, and burn excess energy, like when a person stretches, shakes out their limbs, or suddenly needs to take a walk. It's a natural self-regulating response. But if it happens too often, or they bite their tail until it's red or sore, it might signal anxiety, skin issues, or boredom and should be checked. Does your dog chase their tail for fun, or as a sign of being overstimulated? Reason 8. When you grab your keys and they act out a little sad play, they're afraid of being left behind. You see it every day. You touch your keys, tie your shoes, or walk toward the door, and their mood changes instantly. Ears droop, eyes soften. They follow you slowly, as if asking, "Will it be long? Can I come?" To them, even a 5-minute separation creates a small void. In the wild, leaving the pack meant danger. So when you prepare to leave, their little heart responds with instinctive anxiety. You're leaving. Will you come back? It's not drama. It's not manipulation. It's raw vulnerability from a creature whose whole world revolves around your presence. But if they start pacing, scratching the door, or howling after you leave, it may be separation anxiety and needs to be handled gently. Is your dog the quiet type who just watches you leave, or the one who tries to hold on to your leg? Reason 9. When they sit by the window for hours, it's not boredom, it's a mission. You've seen it before. You leave the house or you're working, and your dog quietly posts up at the window, watching every leaf, every car, every passerby. It might look like boredom, but it's not. It's one of the oldest instincts dogs carry, the role of the watcher. In wild packs, one member always takes the lookout role, listening, sniffing, watching for changes in the environment to keep the group safe. And in your small family, your dog has taken on that role. The window isn't just a view, it's their lookout post. Whether you're home or not, they take that job seriously. But if they bark excessively, slam into the door, or panic at every noise, that could be built-up stress, and a consistent walk routine or reducing visual triggers may help. Is your dog the family's official window guardian? Reason 10. When they pace the house at midnight, they're not restless, they're on duty. Ever hear your dog's soft footsteps at 1 or 2 a.m.? You peek out, and there they are, silently patrolling the hallway, sniffing the air, pausing to listen, then moving on. It might seem odd, but this is one of the clearest expressions of their natural role. In the wild, no pack sleeps deeply all at once. Someone always stays alert. When you're sleeping, your dog steps up for the night shift, checking doors, listening for sounds, guarding the space. They're not bored. They're being your quiet, loyal sentinel. But if they pace all night, pant, or seem uneasy, it could signal anxiety or lack of daytime activity. Worth paying attention to. Is your dog your night watchman? For I was an 11. When they ignore the fancy bed and lie on the cold floor, it's not ingratitude. You bought them the perfect bed, soft, stylish, cozy, and 10 minutes later, they're stretched out on the cold floor. It might feel like they're ungrateful, but there's a gentle reason behind it. Dogs are very sensitive to temperature. A thick, cushiony bed might be too warm, especially after a walk, play session, or in warmer weather. The floor is cool, dry, quiet, perfect for regulating body heat. They're not picking the cheap option. They're picking the place that feels best to their body. But if they constantly seek cold surfaces, lie apart from you, or change positions frequently, it could be a sign of joint pain, tummy upset, or emotional stress. Does your dog love the fancy bed you got, or do they prefer the weirdest spot in the house? When you understand these small behaviors, you'll realize something beautiful. Dogs never do anything without meaning. They don't use words, so every step, every stare, every seat steal is a message of emotion, sent just for you. When they sit where you were, when they follow you through the house, when they look at you in their most vulnerable moments, they're saying, I trust you, I need you, and life is so much better with you in it. They don't remember the expensive toys. They don't care about luxury or perfect routines. What they love, most deeply, most clearly, is your presence. The voice you use when you speak to them. The chair you always sit in. The door you walk through every morning. Those little things are their whole world. So the next time you see them in your seat, don't think of it as strange. Think of it as a quiet reminder that you are where they feel most loved, most safe, most at home. And I'd love to hear from you. Which behavior made you understand your dog more deeply? Every story is a little piece of the music that plays between people and dogs, and I'd love to hear yours.